Take us away, leave the city behind. We're on our way to find blue sky.
Hey everyone, welcome to Trail Sage, and this week we're talking about my ankles, or more specifically how I have to tape them up before every trail run. You see, as a youth, I played a lot of basketball and soccer, or football for my international audience, and I kind of ruined both of them. And as a result, I have to tape both of them up before any trail run. I have and continue to do strength training on them, but the reality is those ligaments are pretty loose, and without the support, they continue to buckle. Unhappy with traditional taping techniques and overly cumbersome braces kind of like this one, I've come up with a technique that works really well for me. But before we get started, I want you to know two things. First, this isn't a video on how to immobilize the joint after a sprain, but rather a video on how I tape my ankles to prevent a sprain. Also, obviously, I'm not a doctor or an athletic trainer, and the tips and the techniques that I'm going to be showing you are just some things that have worked for me. If you do have a serious injury, please consult a professional before attempting any kind of a trail run. For me, the biggest issue has always been balancing mobility with stabilization. Like many of you watching, I grew up having my ankles taped before games to the point where I could barely move them. Well, that didn't feel very good, and it certainly didn't do much for agility. So after some experimenting, I've come up with a technique that limits my mobility from side to side, but still allows my ankle to move up and down freely, which is ideal for trail running. All you need is some pre-wrap, athletic tape, a strip of kinesiology tape, and maybe a pair of scissors. The pre-wrap is made from a foam that's really light and breathable, and its basic function is to keep the athletic tape from sticking to your skin or hair. It also helps to minimize skin irritation and makes removing everything really quick and easy. The athletic tape is the key to immobilizing the joint. It doesn't stretch or breathe very well, but it's really strong. Kinesiology tape, on the other hand, is extremely stretchy, and it comes in pre-cut strips like this or on a roll. They're exceptionally sticky and quite durable in most conditions. I like the pre-cut strips like these because I can bring them with me on my trail run as backup. Okay, so how do I tape up my ankles? Well, the first thing that we want to do is apply the pre-wrap. I like to start with the underside of my foot first and work my way up to my ankles, and finish about 6 inches up my shin. You don't have to be perfect here, but you also don't want tons of excess either. Next, take the athletic tape and pull out about 6 inches. Apply it to one side of your shin above your ankle. Without cutting it, continue to apply it down around the bottom of your foot and up the other side of your shin in one continuous strip. Make sure that the tape overlaps both sides of your ankles in a U shape. Do this at least 2 more times, overlapping the first strip halfway on either side. I'm only 5'8" and 145 pounds, so if you're taller and or heavier, you may want to experiment with adding 1 or even 2 more strips of athletic tape here. Once you have at least 3 strips of tape covering your ankle, it's now time to secure the ends by wrapping athletic tape around the top of your leg. Continue wrapping around until you're just above the ankle. I like to start at the top, work my way down, and finish somewhere in the middle. A couple things to note here: when you're wrapping, try not to go too low. Too much here will prevent your ankle from moving up and down freely. Also, you shouldn't be wrapping with any kind of force. Remember, athletic tape doesn't stretch, and we don't want to cut off any kind of circulation. Well, at this point, you're almost done, but there's one more special key. You want to cover the end point of the athletic tape with the kinesiology tape. This will prevent the athletic tape from unraveling once you start to sweat and it loses its stickiness. To apply the kinesiology tape, you rip the paper backing in the middle, exposing the adhesive, and apply that to your target and work your way out. If it's really hot out or you know you'll be submerging your foot into water, it might be worth adding a second strip of kinesiology tape just below. Conversely, if it's cold out or you're going out for a shorter run, you might be able to get away with just half a strip. At this point, your ankle should feel supported, but the true stabilization happens when you put your shoe on and tighten down the laces. This will lock down the lower part of your ankle by pressing the athletic tape onto your foot. And now your foot should feel pretty snug. If you're like me and you have 2 weak ankles, well then apply these same steps to your other ankle. Now, I've seen plenty of videos where people use only the kinesiology tape, and that might work for you or be all you need. But for me, there's just too much stretch there and I need a little bit more protection. I roll my ankles on a lot of trail runs, and so far the athletic tape has kept me from spraining my ankle. In most scenarios, I'm able to run it off, or in the worst case, I've just had to take a minute. But in every case, the tape has always done its job and I was able to continue with my run. Now, I want to be completely transparent here, and please know I'm not an ultra runner and I have no idea if this taping technique would actually hold up for an extended run. Most of my trail runs are between 1 and 4 hours, but they're on pretty technical terrain. However, if you are an ultra runner and you try these techniques, let me know how it goes. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. If you're interested in that pre-wrap or the tapes, I'll leave links in the description below. And if you want to work on exercises to strengthen your ankles, my buddy Martin at The Determined Runner has a great video on that, so look for that link below as well. Well, if you have any questions or you want me to cover anything in more detail, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video and you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.